Parrots are one of the smartest and most exotic birds on our planet. The colorful flyers thrive in tropical rainforests. But wait, what is this parrot doing up in the mountains? It's a Kea, the only parrot that has chosen the path of a mountaineer. Equipped with a toddler's curiosity and the tools of a handyman. These parrots are not just different because they prefer high altitudes. Science has shown that Kea are also more adventurous than their relatives. What makes them so curious and inventive? And why is the only place in the world they can be found the peaks of New Zealand's southern Alps? New Zealand consists of two main land masses, the North Island and the South Island. Kea live on the South Island, which is dominated by a huge mountain chain running 500 kilometers through the middle, the Southern Alps. Its highest peak reaches 3,724 meters into the sky, and the humid conditions on the island are the source of plenty of snow and ice. But despite the lofty height and frosty conditions, Kea are doing fine here. And if this video is also doing it for you, please like, subscribe, and click the bell. These green parrots can grow to around 40 to 50 centimeters tall and weigh about 1 kilogram. Their plumage is an unassuming olive green, but once they spread their wings, you can see their bright orange feathers. Kea are quite famous for their inquisitive and often destructive behavior. So famous that even tourists travel to their mountainous home to see the little Lokis. But they weren't always loved. Quite the opposite, actually. Once, Kea could be found on New Zealand's South and North Island. From the 1860s onward, an estimated 150,000 Keas were killed. At that time, New Zealand's government introduced a bounty on the inquisitive birds. The reason? Some Kea attacked or even killed sheep, which led to conflicts between the birds and the sheep farmers. More than 1 century later, the Kea received full protection under the New Zealand Wildlife Act. But at that point, there were only around 5,000 individuals left. They'd fled to the heights of New Zealand's southern Alps, where they have found a safe space. Here, they aren't so easy to catch. But even so, the Kea is still endangered. When the Maori arrived here about 800 years ago, there were probably a lot of Kea around, filling the air with their unique calls. The Maori were also the ones that came up with the name Kea. Why? Well, just listen. The parrots are very social, play a lot, and make all kinds of strange noises. Scientists found out that Kea even have a distinct play call. When the birds hear that call, they will almost immediately start to play, but not necessarily with the parrot that made the sound. It seems this play call is not an invite, but rather pulls on the Kea's emotions. It puts them in a frisky frame of mind, so comparable with infectious laughter in humans. But Kea are not only funny, like their nickname Clowns of the Mountains suggests, but also exceptionally smart. Kea are deeply curious and don't fear humans. Rather, they seek them out. The green parrots are always checking things out, trying to deconstruct or destroy things with their sharp beaks. But this behavior is not at all common in intelligent birds. Take crows, for example. They are also extremely smart, but don't trust anything. An experiment shows where the birds and their problem-solving skills differ. This is a New Caledonian crow named Wack. She will face off against Kermit the Kea. Quick side note, the reason for Wack's collar is that she lost her mate and started ripping out her own feathers in grief. The collar was put on to keep her from doing that. Both birds will be put to the same test, this plexiglass box. In it is a treat. The goal? To get the snack out of the safe. Each bird is presented with the same 4 ways of getting the treat out. The easiest way, and also the first choice for both Wack and Kermit, is to just pull on the string that's connected to the peanut. But once a solution has been used, it gets taken away by the research team. So the birds have to look for another workaround. Now, their different thinking will become visible. Wack chooses a stick and pushes the peanut out of the box, This choice is quite logical for her. New Caledonian crows are known for their tool use. Kea, like Kermit, don't really use tools in the wild. He goes for another option. He picks up a ball and rolls it down a chute to kick the snack out. Both choices are taken away. So, time to think again. This time Whack goes for the ball and takes the treat. Kermit still won't use the stick. Instead, he opens a door on the back of the box. He just sticks his head in and takes the peanut. Let's keep this behavior in mind. Last round. Only one choice left. Kermit finally decides to use a stick, which is a bit tricky to grasp with his curved beak. Whack has to go for the door, but instead of putting her head in, she gets a stick to push through the door and poke the peanut free. So, what's the experiment's conclusion? Well, both bird species are very clever, but crows are careful and observant. They don't trust anything right away. Kea, on the other hand, are reckless. They just give it a go, no matter how long it takes. The question remains, why is it like that? The reason lies in their different origins. Crows and ravens can be found on almost every continent. That also means a lot of potential predators to be wary of. And since these black-feathered birds love to snatch a bit of meat from a kill, they need to watch out, so as not to become a meal themselves. New Zealand shaped Kea differently. On an island that for the longest time did not have any threats like that, Kea evolved to be more adventurous. Since New Zealand split away from other landmasses about 85 million years ago, when dinosaurs still roamed the Earth, mammals didn't have the chance to get there for a very long time. The only species to reach the island were bats and marine mammals, and much later, humans and their domesticated animals. So, a really long time of isolation and little pressure on Kea or the other inhabitants. Unique evolution and history. That is the answer to why these parrots ended up on top of the mountains. And who knows what shenanigans they will be up to next. Thanks for watching. Please share, like, and subscribe. And for more, here is our parrot playlist. Until next time.